channel all that in there.
I'm going to channel it right now. We're going to channel.
Evil spirit, leave this woman. Oh, hey, everybody.
Sorry, she did a little deliverance on me.
Camille.
Yeah.
Gretchen, we're back, and
we are starting over. We are starting over. That's what we're doing right now.
You don't know what we're talking about, but so we used to have a podcast called Shock Talking, and now we've started something new. It's called Starting Over.
That's right.
It's not really about Camille and I, because that's not what we're talking about. No. But there's many areas in life where every day is a start over, right?
And everybody starts over.
Yeah.
That's what that's the theme. It's like, how do you start over? How do you change? And that's probably what most people are coming in for, is I'm stuck. And I'm like, well, what if you started over right now?
Mm-hmm.
And
what
then
Camille's
right now.
referring to, she is a family therapist, and so people come in, and that's something I will say, over the 100 years I've known you, like, you're really good at helping people retell a different story, or tell a different story. Stop saying, the stories that what you're used to.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money. I've never had enough money. Nobody in my family ever has enough money. Well, that just keeps happening.
I'm never going to have love. I'm never going to. Yeah. Well, because we believe it, but we're always going to be right. Whether we say I'm never this, you're going to be right, because you're going to create that.
Yeah.
It's interesting when you learn how to manifest, and you're damn good at this, girl. Manifesting is matching your mood and the feeling.
Oh yeah.
The secret I thought was fascinating years ago, but I have found that it's not. We don't really attract what we want, because we're wanting it. We attract what we are. So we have to shift our vibration, our energy, and you shift it to the mood and the intention, and that, when those match, that's how you make stuff happen.
And I also think that, so when you have a want, like, let's say I want my bank account to increase, just sticking on that subject, right?
Yep.
And then you've already put that intention out there. You've already, basically, whether you want to call it praying or whatever, you already made known to the universe or to God that this is what I want. And then when you go about your day, when you go about your life, and you're finding joy in other things, you automatically match up to that want.
Exactly right.
I think, at least I know in my experience in religion, it's been like, you get on your knees and you plead and you beg.
Right.
You hope you're worthy enough to be able to get that blessing.
Yeah.
But what I've learned in my ripe old age, that, hang on, it isn't a matter of begging and pleading. It's just a matter of lining up with that desire.
Yes.
And that desire could be meaning, I don't have to think about what I'm wanting.
No.
I can just be enjoying a sip of iced tea, or I can be enjoying dinner with my best friend, or you know what I'm saying? And those things
That's right. That's
level you up.
That's right. It is interesting. I mean, I think I'm a recovering religion. I mean, I'm still recovering from religion, but I do think that the dogma, or having to go through a man or a bishop or a priest or someone, that we would have to go to them for permission or to feel worthy. And this idea that God's a dad in the sky or something. Like, when I kind of realized, when I had my own little epiphany, that's not how it works. I think I'm co-creating my life. The energy is working through me too, and everyone does this. So, like, again, we are consciously creating or unconsciously creating whatever we do or don't want.
Yeah,
and everyone's doing it.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where all of a sudden, or maybe your dialogue is, well, that's never going to happen. And it doesn't, right? I'm never going to get a raise, or I'm never going to get a date, or that's it's never happened before. It's not going to happen now. You watch, it's not going to happen.
That's right.
Because that energy it's not going to happen. So that's why Camille is so good about saying, change your story.
Yeah. Well, and look, you must have a story, because you have your result says that's your story. Whatever our results are is a window into how we created it that way.
You create your own reality. So whatever your reality, and we're including us in this conversation.
We all do.
We're not
Everybody.
saying y'all are doing something
Humanity.
wrong. But your reality in life is what you've created.
That's
so
right.
Pay attention to what you're thinking about. Pay attention to what you're talking about. If you're constantly saying, and I learned this through cancer, I refused to talk about how I felt.
Yep.
Because I didn't want to think about where I was.
Yeah.
So, and yet I know, the universe doesn't hear words, or here's your vibration.
That's exactly right.
So you can't fool by saying, no, I'm good, when you don't feel that way.
Yeah.
You just have to switch your mind. So Pinterest was my cute friend. I just would get on Pinterest and be like, I can look at gardening, I can look at clothes, I can look at recipes, I can look at travel, I can look at things that I don't have to think about how I was feeling.
That's right.
And so that kind of shifted and changed my vibration, or my feeling towards things.